Yeah, so welcome everyone. Now, I really appreciate everyone to come in and have a discussion today about abrasive blasting. RJ, thank you for coming in from the Middle East team. Pete Mitchell, thank you for also attending. Scott Cummins from the US team. Chris Manger, thank you for coming in from the APAC team, and Stefan from the European team. And in terms of the industry experience, Stefan, how much industry experience have you had in the abrasive blasting industry?
Meanwhile, I'm already 13 years.
13 years,
GMA.
wow.
Yeah, so I'm responsible for the European blast market, means from Portugal to Kazakhstan, from Greece up to Norway. I've seen quite a lot all over Europe from the different cultures, industries, and there has been a long way in the last 13 years so far.
And Chris, you're the younger.
the old younger.
Younger.
I've been with GMA for almost 3 years,
Yeah.
and I've probably spent over 25 years around technical sales and solutions, probably over half of that in adhesive coatings and surface prep.
Yes.
This year will be 35 years. I spent most of my time on the distribution side of the business, so I've only been 1 year on the supply side of it. So.
Yeah.
I started with abrasive Garnet back about 32 years ago, but about 27 of that has been with the blasting side.
For me, it's around 20 years. I've completed 20 years with GMA Garnet, let's say, and providing the technical solutions to our major end users, and also looking after the distribution network in Middle East.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
The contractors, the customers, they're facing a massive cost increase. Meanwhile, everybody's trying to reduce their project cost, and of course, time is money. So for the waste handling is becoming one of the major drivers, and project time. And in my opinion, GMA Garnet offers you the perfect package to reduce especially these costs. And our engineered blends are working a little bit differently. We have particles who are crushing the coating, thick layers. And we also have finer particles who are achieving the speed of the abrasive blasting. And this all brings a higher cleaning speed and an extremely reduced consumption.
About from the service perspective, I think it's missed in the opportunity to be more profitable is when you're using so much more abrasive with the other alternatives. You have more wear and tear on your equipment, and you're spending a lot of time changing out kits and changing out nozzles and hoses, and all that's a cost as well. So labor cost is drastically impacted when you can use less abrasive for sure.
That kind of comes from the core of what we talk about our Garnet, is because we start every presentation and every training with the fact that it's harder and it's tougher and it's heavier. We do a great job of processing Garnet, but our deposits are just naturally really phenomenal minerals, and that's where you get the less consumption, you get the higher profile, all the extra benefits.
We have a shipbuilding customer in Korea. They've been a GMA premium blast user for many years, and they recently wanted to investigate how they could lower their initially costs, but we started talking to them about consumption. So they've trialled GMA new steel. They reduced their consumption by about 30%, and they're about 10% faster in blasting. So now they're swapping all those applications across to new steel for more efficiency. I think it sort of highlights that the industry tends to go for a one-size-fits-all, one abrasive, whereas many abrasive companies maybe have two sizes. We've got 5 abrasives in APAC across our range, so we really can pick the right product for the right application.
Yes, so I think it is all tying down to what exactly suits the application, basically. Contractor end up asking one particular size for almost all the projects what they're doing. However, it's very important to understand what sort of application they have. If it's a kind of a low profile requirement on the blasted surface, a product like a new steel fits well for this kind of requirement. And if it's a high profile, if they want to achieve on the blasted surface, they have to use the coarser abrasive from our portfolio. However, the major difference is the coarser is the abrasive, higher is the consumption, lower is the productivity. And it goes the other way. Finer is the abrasive, higher is the productivity, and lower is the consumption.
The customer also has to focus on the equipment. We have high efficient blast abrasives, but you also need high efficient equipment to achieve these 100%.
A lot of the abrasives are so weak and are so friable, you can put it in the best piece of equipment on the market, and you won't see any change, because it doesn't have all the other properties that can help.
Less consumption, higher cleaning speed, less product handling on site, reduce waste cost and waste handling. less reworking because of an improved surface quality, are, in my opinion, the 5 key points for our products.
I agree. I think we should really highlight that waste disposal, because everyone's costs are going up every single year.
Yep.
In our region, they can range from tens of dollars up to thousands of dollars, depending on the geography, the contamination of the product. So driving that consumption down has more benefits than just your initial purchase, extends beyond that.
Our solution is to reduce immediately the abrasive just with the choose of the abrasive. So when you usually calculate 40, 50, 60 kilogram per square meter, we can work with maximum 15 kilogram per square meter just with the other choose of abrasive.
You hit right on the head there earlier about time is money. It's not just the contractor saving his labor and the other bits. I mean, for a plant to shut down or something like that, sometimes it's millions of dollars an hour that they're losing while it's down. And not having to clean up saves time. Being able to blast 20, 30, 40% faster saves time. Only having to fill the pot once an hour versus every 15 minutes saves time. Not being able to see when you're blasting versus being in a cloud and stopping every 5 seconds. It's interesting that we could sit here all day long and talk about another reason that we help them save time. And if they actually put them all together,
right,
it's shocking how much they can save. We had a customer one time tell us that we made him too efficient. And the problem was he had perfectly timed to blast, paint. And he said we cut so much time off the blasting that it messed up the balance of having the paint. And we were like, well, put on another painter and still get done in half the time, right? But it was interesting that that's what he went to, that we messed up, we made him too efficient.
Right.
So.
I guess the basic simple one is that it costs too much is initial first impression, because often it's looking at the cost per ton. But what we've been talking about, if you need half the amount of tons, you should be looking at the cost of the job. So we don't focus on cost per ton, we focus on the total cost of the job, including all those factors we've already mentioned. Some contractors and customers are good at that, they know their numbers, some just don't. And at GMA we've got some really good tools that can support that. We've got the knowledge of the people around this table, plus all the rest of our sales team. We've got some great tools from our marketing department as well in terms of cost calculator.
And also to add on this, I think it's a global issue, but however, I'll just mention about the Middle East at the moment. There are several major shipyard companies using copper slag as their preferred abrasive, thinking that's the most cheapest option available in the market. Historically, they are using. The major problem what they are having at this moment is having the disposal issue, the major disposal issue, and environmental issues. The disposal issue is such that it is becoming more and more expensive now. That is one way of looking into the cost. Second is also the garnet is way more effective compared to the slag.
I think one of the challenges as well is that I think in certain industries, shipbuilding is probably a good one, it's always been slag. And the thought of using garnet just doesn't cross people's mind because there's perceptions out there. And part of our role, and I guess our challenge to the industry, is to say, just take a step back and think differently. And let's start a conversation about how GMA can help.
And there's a lot on the think part of it too, because they can blast so much faster. You can load the pot up and give them a high performance, and they start to blast. And what do? They're creatures of habit. They go at the same speed. They don't try to push it. I mean, we get in and work with them and teach them, look, you can go faster. You can clean it in one pass. You don't have to stop here. And it's funny that you can load them up and dial a pot in, and they'll still do it at the exact same speed that they have until you reach over and say, push it just a little bit. And they're amazed that sometimes they're 2, 3, 4 times faster than they were doing with simple techniques.
Yeah, being able to leverage our expertise, I think, is so valuable, because I had heard it earlier this week that our particles are so much harder than some of the alternatives that you can take a step back from the surface when you're blasting and increase that pattern substantially. So you think about a pattern that big going to that big, how much more productive is that?
With the same amount of work.
Exactly. So I think if you don't have the expertise behind the already good product that we have, I think we can really help make them become more profitable.